Alright, welcome back to the channel everybody. Guggen Barbecue here. And today we're cooking a picanha, a whole picanha. I'll show you how I prepped it, and I'm going to cook it around 275 till it hits about 115 internal temperature. Then I'm going to pull it off, and we're actually going to use our side burner today. So on this Pits and Spit smoker, we've got the optional sear burner, which is right above the hot coals in the fire. So we're going to test that out. I haven't used it before, and I'm also testing out a new beer. I haven't had this particular beer before. It's called a Rollin' in the Haze New England style IPA. So we'll see if that's any good. So stick around. We'll see how this cook goes, and at the end I'll slice it up and see if I did a good job or overcooked it or what. But I think it's going to turn out really good. All right, so we're going to get our salt, pepper, and garlic powder on this picanha. I've already put some on the meat side. We'll flip it over, we'll score the fat cap, and we'll get it on that side as well. But I'm just going to start out with some coarse pepper since I already put salt on this side. All right, that's looking pretty good. And we'll do a little bit of garlic powder. Just a little bit, not too much, and we'll make sure we'll get these sides nice and good. Oh yeah, that's looking good. All right, and I'm just going to pat it in just a little bit. We're going to flip it over, and I'm going to score this fat cap just like we did with the pork butt that I cooked for you. And you don't want to go too deep, but just enough to score that fat cap. And it'll just help it render a little bit better, and it'll make it look pretty nice when it's all finished cooking. And we will go ahead and go this way now. And if you have a really sharp knife, this goes really easy. This is actually my fishing fillet knife that I use when I go fishing down in Florida on the coast, but it's really sharp and it works really well for trimming briskets and, you know, scoring a fat cap like what we're doing here. All right, so now I'm going to get our salt on here, and with the fat you can be really liberal with the salt. I went a little lighter on the other side. Well, helps when you open the correct end. Pat that in there pretty nice. Get our pepper. And a little bit of garlic powder. All right, so it's looking really nice. All right, so let's get this picanha on the pit. The temperature gauge on the pit says 225. I know from using that Inkbird from our last cook that it's about 275 right in this area when my gauge reads 225 right here. So that's right where I want to be. And you can see I put fat cap down, and I put the thickest part of the picanha towards the fire. And we'll just see how that goes. This is the first time I've ever cooked this, and I'm hoping it'll turn out pretty good. Once it comes up to about 115 degrees internal temperature, I'm going to pull it off, and then we're going to come over here to this side burner. This lifts up, and then we'll have the nice hot coals and hot fire directly under our picanha. So stay tuned and we'll see the results. All right, so it's been about 45 minutes, and the internal temperature of our picanha is around 97 degrees. The pit is running around 255 to 275. I just opened the door, so it did relieve some of the heat. I'm going to go ahead and spritz this. It's looking a little dry. It's almost time to pull it. It's probably got another 15 minutes or so. But just a little bit of a spritz, nothing too much, and it just is going to get the outside a little moist. I've also got some sweet potatoes in here, and I've never done sweet potatoes before, so we'll see how that turns out on the smoker. All right, so here's what our sear burner looks like. It is piping hot. I can't hold my hand above it. So we're gonna get this picanha on there and probably sear it for about a minute, minute and a half each side. Really just going off color here. I don't want to overdo it. The temp's still rising on that picanha even though I pulled it off because there is carryover. So let's get that on there and see how we're doing. And I'm just going to press it on there a little bit, try to get some good sear marks on it. So right now it's about 121, 119. So I'm just going to keep an eye on that. I don't want to go over. I'm probably going to pull it around 125, 128. There's going to be a carryover. I am shooting for around medium, so we'll just see how that does. And this side burner is a really neat feature. I wish, you know, all the offsets came with something like this. I know like the workhorse pits, they have something that's an option, but it's definitely makes your smoker a lot more versatile. So we're still at 119 degrees. I'm just gonna flip it a few times, get a really nice char on it. But this sear burner is working really good over this hot wood, especially when the fat starts dripping on the fire and it produces a little bit more smoke. We've already got a lot of smoky flavor on there, but it's gonna make it really good. All right guys, so it's been about 15 minutes since I let this rest, and we're gonna cut it up and see how we did. Oh yeah, that's looking amazing. Perfect medium temperature. I'm not gonna slice the whole thing up, I'll save some for some sandwiches, but that's looking really, really good, especially for our first attempt. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Take a look at these slices. They're gonna be amazing. And we do have a new taste tester here. Her name's Bixby. So let's go ahead and give her a bite and see if she approves of. So are you ready, Bix? Oh, I think that's a winner. All right guys, so I'll see you in the next video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope this was helpful. I thought it was really cool using the smoker side of things and using the sear burner that we have on the side with the fire. So stay tuned, we'll have some more videos in the future.